What's up YouTube? Capital G here, checking out the brand new OCG Forbidden and Limited list for July 1st, 2020 that just got revealed. So very interesting, two ban lists in the same week. I have actually seen this list already, and it's a pretty tame, pretty small list. Konami didn't do a whole lot on this list. There are actually some things that I thought would have happened, but ultimately did not. But we're going to discuss it and look at the ramifications and potential, maybe like potential implications that we could see in the OCG when it came to ban cards. And I talked about this in my TCG video. I'm still very surprised that Terraforming isn't one of the hottest cards right now when it comes to potentially getting banned. Mainly because if you look at the OCG, they already have the NUMERON cards for Don 1000. Those cards have already started taking over the game. And I could understand if Konami doesn't want to like immediately ban the NUMERON cards because you still got to sell them. But Terraforming has been a card for a very long time that has seen a lot of play, and my thing is it's not like Konami's gonna stop making broken field spells anytime soon, so you could probably curve the power a little bit by just getting rid of Terraforming directly. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the ban list. So the only new forbidden card is the card you guys see on the screen right here, and that would be Linkross. To me, I don't ever think that this card actually made sense. Like, I don't understand why Konami created this card. I've said this in other videos before, but if it has become just glaringly obvious that during the Vrains era, mass token production is broken because of link monsters, why would you continue to make them? And I understand that Linkross doesn't allow you to use the token monsters or the tokens as link material, but the thing is, obviously we found so many ways to cheat around that, mainly by using those as synchro materials. I just feel like we have so many examples of past cards, Scapegoat and Gofu and Grinder Golem and Galaxy Tomahawk. Like, how many freaking token cards did we end up banning this era of Yu-Gi-Oh? I feel like it's been at least half a dozen. Scapegoat didn't get banned, but it did get limited. Like, we hit so many token producing cards. Steam the Cloak, that's another one that produces tokens, right? Mecha Phantom Beastone Lion could still actually end up getting hits. I just don't understand why they would actually make another, like card that gives you multiple tokens in a turn, and that's incredibly generic. Linkross is stupidly easy to summon. You just take one link monster and basically convert it into Linkross for free. I don't think this card should have ever been created. It'd have been one thing if this card was like 10 years old or something like Galaxy Tomahawk, but to make this card after we know Link's summoning and token production is so broken just never really made any sense. I'm perfectly fine seeing this card get banned, but I would have also preferred to see Halifibrax get banned as well. You guys know how I feel about that card. That's the only banned card, which it's not a bad choice. Combo's not actually doing all that well in the OCG either. Like, I think I would rather see Terraforming than Linkross or like, Halifibrax. Anyways, when it comes to limited cards, there are actually no limited cards on this list. What you guys are looking right here is the semi-limits. I told you it was a very small list. So for your semi-limiteds, for semi-limited cards, we have Necrophase, we have Lonefire Blossom, Machiora the Destructor, and White Dragon Wyvern Buster. So White Dragon Wyvern Buster is kind of weird because you're thinking like, wait, Cap, where's Black Dragon Cola Serpent? And surprisingly, only White Dragon Wyvern Buster got hit in the OCG, which is just, it's super bizarre. We know why these cards got hit. They mainly got hit because of the power of the guard dragons and the fact that they could, summon the guard dragons just for one copy of themselves. Then they would float into another, monster that was pretty much the equivalent of the first monster. And then you would have another, fodder basically for like another link play. And the guard dragons were absolutely ridiculous. But in the OCG, guard dragons not really a problem anymore because they've already banned well, not all of them, but they banned Argapane, they banned LP, and then they also, no, they banned Red Eyes, but then they brought it back with an errata. So they've done so much to pretty much neuter the Guard Dragons that I guess they feel like they don't really need to keep any of, or they don't need to keep the the baby Chaos Dragons like hit so severely. Makura the Destructor. This is a prime example of a card that, you errata it, you pretty much kill a lot of the power. There's really no need to keep the card like limited status anymore. No one's playing this card in the OCG. Look for it to probably end up going to 3 sometime in the future. We've seen so many examples of this, whether it be Dark Magician of Chaos or a Dark Strike Fighter, like cards that were just insanely broken, could never be brought back without an errata, but then they do errata the card and they pretty much like they make it unplayable. I mean, some erratas are good, like Ring of Destruction, but some erratas kind of like really hurt the card. This is something that, truth be told, I didn't see coming, and that is Lone Fire Blossom. I would have bet my bottom dollar that Lone Fire Blossom would have ended up banned by the end of the Ranger era, not going like on the other direction, or not going towards the other direction on the ban list. I still think there is just so much insane power in Lone Fire Blossom. The fact that it can bring out any monster of an entire type from your deck by just tributing another monster, doesn't even have to be itself. But, Konami has hit so many cards basically surrounding the plant engine, or I guess in the plant engine, not necessarily Lone Fire Blossom directly, whether it be Dandelion, which probably never going to come back, another one of those mass token producing cards, Dandelion or Glow Up Bulb. Like, so many powerful cards in the plant engine have been hit. Lone Fire Blossom's just kind of out there dolo by himself. And then Necroface, which this has always just been kind of a degenerate card. Like, the only deck that runs Necroface for somewhat of a fair reason is probably Metaphys. Every other deck that runs Necroface is just trying to do pure shenanigans, trying to resolve 3 of these bad boys in a single turn. Well, you can only do 2 in the OCG, but the point is they're trying to resolve as many of this card in a single turn as possible. I've always thought that this card was just really, really derp, and it's just kind of a weird card that just really wants to be broken every time you use it. Anyways, for the Unlimits, we have the obligatory Deep Sea Diva because Konami wants you to buy them Diva cards. I don't understand why they probably should have hit this, or excuse me, unlimited this on their last FNL list, because, like Eternity Code has a bunch of Diva cards. It just makes sense. I mean, this is simply buy our new stuff, and then you guys can play, 3 copies of Diva with it. And then we also have Draco Nets. And the main reason that this card was originally hit was because of combos with like Ib, the Synchro monster, another monster that should have like never been created because it was broken. But then also Ib allowed you to go into Guard Dragon combos, and we just talked about how Guard Dragons are not nearly as viable as a play as they were before. And then Ib is also banned in the OCG as it is in the TCG, well deservingly. So it's like not really the biggest reason to keep this card hit on the ban list, because I believe that this was at limited status at one point when Konami initially hit it, and Ib was still in their game for some reason. But yeah, a pretty tame, pretty small ban list overall. Linkross is a good ban, as I said before. I do kind of question the timing, because from what we've seen in the OCG, it really does seem like Control is much more prevalent in their meta than combo. And obviously, Linkross is a pure combo card. So I would have liked to see them go after Terraforming. I would have maybe liked to see a hit to Invoked, maybe like Alistair, the Invoker, or maybe Magical Meltdown. One of those cards be limited. I think I'm a little bit more of a fan of hitting Magical Meltdown directly, because you do constantly see Invoke pop up into a lot of decks. A lot of people argue that Invoke just carries so many decks and so many archetypes as like a very strong engine. And honestly, I felt like we were getting invoked fatigue in the TCG not that long ago, but then some other stuff came out. But it'll be interesting to see what the OCG metagame is going to shape up like, because I don't really think that this ban list affects their meta. To be completely honest, I would not be shocked if the OCG players felt about this ban list very similarly to how we feel about our ban list. I would not be surprised at all if, you know, combo, which was underperforming, continued to underperform, and if we basically just saw, you know, Don Thousand's NUMERON cards continue to dominate, because my understanding is that the NUMERON Eldorado deck was the best deck in the game, and this didn't touch that deck at all. Nothing got hit, no consistency hits. So if I'm an OCG player and I'm just strictly playing to win, I don't understand why I wouldn't continue to run that deck. 0 hits. The combo decks got even worse, and you know, we just continue as normal. But whatever you guys think in the comment section below, or whatever you guys think about this list, you leave that in the comment section below. When it comes to what could translate to the TCG, I think Linkross is eventually going to get banned. This was just bad card design by Konami. Whenever you have to ban a card within like a year or so of you releasing the card, that generally only happens with things like Dark Strike Fighter, Spellbook of Judgment, the Dragon Rulers. That's just bad card design. When you have to ban a card like 2 or 3 formats after you released it, it's just telling you like you did a bad job. You didn't R&D test the card, and the card was just too powerful. It didn't get powerful over years and years like Rescue Cat. It was just like broken from Jump Street. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.